Hey y'all, I'm back to doing another video. Today's video will be about Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy Krueger himself. If you guys don't know about his origin, it's alright, I'll tell you a little bit about him. Freddy Krueger originated from the fictional town of Springwood, Ohio, with the Nightmare on Elm Street film franchise. He was a child murderer who was burned alive by vengeful parents, leading to his supernatural resurrection as Dream Demon, seeking revenge on the children for those who killed him. Um, and to me, my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie has to be the original. Yep, the original, because we got to see Johnny Depp himself with that iconic death scene with the bed exploding with blood up in the ceiling, and we get to see Nancy, and I have to say what she was going through, trying to tell her mom about the nightmares she's been having, realistic nightmares, and her friends dying in the dreams, but she kept denying it throughout the entire movie until the end, until the mom finally told her um, she was one of the parents who burned Freddy Krueger alive. And so after finding that out, her own the best way to defeat Freddy Krueger was in her dreams, uh, drag him out from the dream world into the real world, and boom, uh, she was able to kill him until we got that plot twist in the end when um, he took um, Nancy's mother through that door, and boom, credits. And throughout the franchise, I mean, the best way I can say it was the kills with when it comes to Freddy. That was the only good thing about the franchise, and he was able to be goofy and funny. Um, but other than that, the sequels weren't that good. Besides Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, where we got to see Nancy back and helping the New Blood try to take down Freddy Krueger in that mental institution, and I mean, that was a good sequel versus Freddy's Revenge. Freddy's Revenge was basically Freddy Krueger taking over. Can't think of his name. If you guys do know his name, please let me know. Taking over his body and killing people one by one until in the movie you find out the main character's family was living in Nancy's house, basically, and I guess that's the reason why Freddy Krueger came back. But it flopped. The sequel flopped. But if they did it, if they did the original with Dream Warriors, I mean that would have been a solid sequel. And with the rest of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, with 4, 5, 6, and 7th, it was basically Freddy being funny and finding creative ways to kill these children. And to me, my favorite kill from this franchise, hmm, it's tough. It's tough, but I have to give it to Johnny Depp. His death was my favorite. That was a shocker. It was a crazy shocker, and it was able to get into that gory stage in the and that was like when it was in its peak of the 80s, getting into the gore and with so much blood, and being able to do that in the original, that's that's was cool. And I get it. The reason why I feel like the sequels were coming was because it was competing with um, with Friday the 13th and Halloween, and it was trying to compete with them and trying to get that number one spot as the slasher film, number one slasher film in the 80s. But then we got into Freddy versus Jason, though. I talked about that movie in my last video with with the Freddy with the Jason, sorry, with the Jason franchise. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. And to me, that was a banger. Having the two horror icons in the 80s going at it, and the scenes were funny, the kills were good, the characters they were awesome. I have no problems. And to me, there was not much of a protagonist in that film. It was just Freddy and Jason going at it. And to me, I don't know. I feel like with with Freddy, we I couldn't would consider another sequel, in my opinion. Um, maybe in a different, maybe now that we're in a new era with horror franchises, I feel like it can walk away with a good, solid reboot, in my opinion. And being able to see him in the big screen again, on and news, uh, Robert England, the one who plays Freddy himself, is gonna be getting his will be in the Hollywood um Walk of Fame. He's getting his own plaque on Halloween, and I that's cool. So if I ever go to LA, Hollywood, I would love to find his name in on the road, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame road. Sorry, I would love to go see that. And he's finally getting his flowers, and it was ranked as the scariest franchise. I think that's what I saw. It was number one, and I agree. I mean, with the original Nightmare on Elm Street, it there were some solid jump scares to me, and but I feel like the top three Nightmare on Elm Street movies I really personally love is the original, Dream Warriors, and then Freddy vs. Jason. And I mean, with the remake, come on, I feel like during that era, with the 2000s remakes of the 80s movies, with Halloween, and then Friday the 13th, and with this one with Nightmare on Elm Street, it was nothing. It was all about the gore, basically, not about the story. And that the face of Freddy for the remake, what was that? I, and then the storyline, it followed like the original, but not as much. And I'm sorry, but I didn't like it personally. Like with all the remakes of the horror films, I don't like. They are either extended too long. They're either there's too much detail, not giving us that mystery that we had with the 80 horror slashers, and the kills. They were just trying to go for blood, go for the gore during the 2000s, and I get that it was trying to get the new audience of horror fans in. I get that, but like, I wish there was no remakes. I wish, I mean, the movie I can give an exception to, I would say Evil Dead. Evil Dead, yes, I would give that exception because personally I haven't seen the original, and only saw the remakes, and I thought they were cool. They were good. But with the slasher films, however, I would be mad if they do another remake of a horror slasher film, like with Scream or um Pen Pinhead, Hellraiser. Um, can't think of any other at the moment. Final Destination. Um, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Any of those. I feel like if they do a remake, I wouldn't be interested. Wouldn't be interested. But anyways, y'all, I'm glad. I hope you guys love this video. The next one I'll be talking about is I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I'm basically going to talk about the newest one that came out, and I have some things to say about that film. So stay tuned, and I'll be able to do that either tomorrow, Thursday, or even heck, maybe for Halloween. But like I said, I'm doing these videos until I can't come up with any other films to talk about. This will be a continuation up to, like I said, when I'm done. And I wasn't intentionally was gonna do this throughout until Halloween, but I'm starting to love these, and I hope you guys do love these videos. Um, Leave some comments. Let me know about your opinions about this franchise or any other slasher franchise, and we can discuss about it. And yeah, um, thanks for watching, y'all.